celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL650.
I feel good.
And we're back with Boomer Life on CL650. In studio with us today is Dr. Chris Coburn from SmartShape Weight Loss Clinics. We're talking about weight loss programs, weight loss surgery, weight loss options for you. So Dr. Coburn, why is this so important right now at this time in our life for baby boomers, and weight is such an issue?
Well, I think weight is a big health issue, not because of the obvious diabetes and blood pressure, but also the way it affects our life. Eventually, as we get heavier and there's more and more wear and tear on our knees and our hips and our backs, we pay the price. And I think if we can achieve this significant, sustained weight loss with the programs we have at SmartShape, this allows people to not just live longer, but also to live better, to have a better lifestyle as they get older and older.
And definitely both of those are goals set out for our retirement years. Excess weight also has a direct link to diabetes as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. The 90% of patients who have type 2 diabetes are obese, and 90% of type 2 diabetes occurs in the obese population. So I basically said the same thing twice, but it's a very direct link, and it's appreciated that weight gain leads to type 2 diabetes. What seems to be less appreciated is that weight loss can make diabetes go into remission. And by remission, we don't talk about cure, because if the weight came back, the diabetes would come back, but the ability to be off all medications and be free of the risks, the long-term risks of diabetes, especially in the eyes and kidneys and so on.
Is there an actual definition for obesity that you could give us?
Well, we talked about it just a while ago, but BMI, body mass index, is a function of both height and weight. Normal would be up to 25. Overweight, we would classify as 25 to 30. 30 to 35 is obese, and then you get into stage 2, 3, and 4 obesity beyond that. So certainly with the BMI above 30, we know that the risk of developing health issues like type 2 diabetes goes up exponentially. So
SmartShape Weight Loss Clinics is offering several options for people that happen to be in that category of a lifetime of yo-yo dieting, no success, suffering at home, limited ability to run out and play and live the life that they want to play, or play with their grandkids, or if someone is stuck in that rut of being overweight, what are some of the options and solutions that you can provide?
Well, I think people need to, first of all, recognize that it's a problem, and they need to be able and willing to take definitive measures to deal with it. Having said that, there's certainly a large percentage of people who are obese who don't see it as a problem. And if you don't see it as a problem and you're not willing to make changes that are necessary, then they're not going to be effective. And certainly at SmartShape, the procedures that we have all require commitment and dedication on the part of the patient to be successful. And what we find is that once people start to lose weight and they've got their lap band or their sleeve and they're starting to see the weight loss that they can feel is permanent weight loss, then they feel more and more motivated to make the other changes that go along with it as well.
Okay, so let's talk about the SmartShape lap band a little bit, what it is and actually how it works and who might be a good candidate for it. But I think I've just asked you 3 questions there. So let's start with what it is.
Okay, so the lap band is a device that we place surgically around the very top of the stomach. Okay, so there's no cutting or stapling of the stomach. There's no removal of any tissue at all. And the band sits just below the junction, just at the very top of the stomach. And it creates like a bit of a barrier so that when people eat, the food comes down and each bite of food gets held up by the band and held into that very upper part of the stomach for maybe 30 seconds. But the filling of that particular segment of the stomach sends signals up to the brain and makes the brain think that there's food right to the top of the stomach. So they feel full or they feel satisfied with a smaller portion of food.
Well, actually, you've just struck a chord there for many of us that sit at the dinner table on occasion over and over and over, and it's like, I just don't feel full. You've eaten a whole big plate of food, but your body and your mind, your stomach and your mind aren't working together to say, I feel full, so you keep eating.
But you may, so maybe 20 minutes later, you might start to feel full.
Oh, okay.
But in the normal stomach, it takes 20 minutes for the signals to go from food being absorbed to your brain to get that feeling of being satisfied. With the lap band and the sleeve and the balloon, the procedures we do at SmartShape, those feelings come immediately because the signals go up through the nerves. So that bite of food stays above the band for maybe 30 seconds, then it passes through. Now it goes down through the stomach and the bowel normally. So there's absolutely no change in how food is digested or absorbed. There's no need for special vitamins and minerals and supplements. It's basically eating the same food, but being satisfied with less of it. Now, along with that, though, comes this necessary change in how you eat. And what I mean by that is if you think of the band as a bit of a funnel, everything that we eat with a lap band has to be chewed well to get through the funnel.
So it all has to be a little bit smaller.
Yeah, significantly smaller.
Okay.
You need to spend, we tell people to take 20 bites for every mouthful of food. It needs to be 20 chews for every biteful of food in order to allow it to pass through. And it's important to take your time. Take 30 to 45 seconds in between bites because you want the bite of food to pass through the stomach before you swallow again. And if you don't, if you forget, or if you take too big a bite, you haven't chewed, or you eat too quickly, then the chances are the food's just going to come back up again, which is a reminder that your lap band is there and working for you.
Well, I'm actually really glad that you brought this demonstration of a stomach to us today because I'm visually looking at it right now. And it's funny that they call it a lap band because it's really just like a very small collar about the size or the diameter of maybe like a lemon or a little bit bigger than a poker chip is what I'm seeing. Yeah. It's just a very small band.
Yeah. So the band goes around the stomach, again, no cutting, and it's connected by tubing to a part of the device we call a port. And again, I encourage people to go to our website, smartshape.ca. We've got videos, we've got all sorts of aids, visual aids to help you see this. And it's hard on the radio. But
you'll see pictures of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the band is connected by tubing to a port. And the port is a little bit of the device we place under the skin. It's under fat, under skin, but it allows our team of nurses and physicians across the country, no matter where you live, to potentially add fluid, which can make the band a little bit tighter. So that as individuals get better at working with their band, they're chewing well and eating slowly, we gradually can tighten the band.
Oh, you can tighten it up a little bit.
And as we tighten it, it means you're going to be satisfied with smaller portions over time. So the band is adjustable. And that's where the laparoscopic adjustable gastric stomach band comes from.
So we can actually watch a video, like a demonstration on your website that will show us how the whole procedure works. And,
absolutely. And
does all of that tubing stay in our body?
Yes, it's all inside. The lap band that we use at SmartShape is a device that's been approved by the FDA in the United States. So we know that it's been through all of the trials and all of the testing necessary to know that the device is both safe, effective, but also durable. This band is meant to be permanent. There's no reason to ever remove it. I mean, you could, so the band is potentially reversible, but if you take the band out, your stomach goes right back to the way it was, and you're at risk for putting the weight back on again.
So is there any level of pain involved with either A, the surgery itself, or B, feeling that lap band working?
So the surgery itself is done laparoscopically, and what that means is although you're asleep, we look inside with a little telescope. There's no incisions in muscle really at all. The procedure takes about half an hour to perform. Our patients would wake up, they would recover in one of our facilities across the country for about an hour and a half, and then able to go home the same day.
And I know the majority of your clients are women. Does this affect them if they want to get pregnant or before or after pregnancy?
No, and in fact, the lap band is an ideal procedure for young women who are contemplating pregnancy because losing weight improves the fertility, increases the chance of even getting pregnant in the first place. And having lost the weight, our patients are going to we're going to have a safer pregnancy for both themselves and the baby. But what's really interesting is that if one of our young female patients gets pregnant and their doctor, their obstetrician thinks they need to eat more during the pregnancy, we would simply take fluid out of the band at the beginning of the pregnancy, and then we can put the fluid back in at the end, and they would continue their weight loss journey. And, one of my favorite stories is a young woman who came to us who was desperate to get pregnant. She weighed somewhere in the area of 300 pounds. She lost weight. She got down into the 250. got pregnant, actually delivered twins, healthy twins, and lost 20 pounds while she was pregnant.
It's a wonderful story.
Yeah, so it was really special for this individual to achieve all of her goals all at the same time.
And Dr. Coburn, where can we have this lap band procedure done in Vancouver?
So SmartShape works in association with the Falls Creek Surgical Center here in Vancouver, where we have, again, a team of surgeons and nurses that have been trained in doing the lap band procedure, have extensive experience, and provide the complete program here in Vancouver or for anybody in BC.
Excellent to know. You're listening to Boomer Life. I'm Joanne Sutton. Today we're talking about your health and your weight loss options with Dr. Chris Coburn from SmartShape Weight Loss Centers. We're talking about weight loss options, and there's more details to come in just a moment on CL 650.
Canada's only weekly radio show dedicated to the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.